Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And in an absolutely incredible turn of events, Activision and Call of Duty have actually come out and made a statement and acknowledged the cheating issue in the game and exactly what they are going to do about it from an anti-cheat perspective. This has been a massive issue these last couple of weeks, especially on the Warzone side, but also in the Call of Duty Challenger scene. And finally, they seem to potentially be getting on top of it. How long will it be until we finally have something like this that is effective inside Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War? Intrigued to hear your perspective in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new. As always, I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, thank you to Draftbuff for sponsoring today's content. It's a week tomorrow when the league officially kicks off. This is your final week to get involved in Draftbuff's fantasy leagues. These are a lot of fun. You can join in with your friends or you can just join a league, as you can see right here on the app or, well, on the website as well. Have either 4, 6 or 8 players in your league, and then you can draft through, do the snake draft to see who can pick the better team for the season and make trades and stuff as the season goes on as well. It's a great app. Nice to see they've got a website up and running as well. The link to join will be down in the description box below. Let's get into things then. So this anti-cheat situation pretty incredible, but first of all, Crone points out that John, Spacely, Gunjar and Gunzy will supposedly be a team moving forward. We saw Gunjar supposedly leaving that squad of Dens, Zed and Jerd yesterday. Seems like now John is going to be an option going forward, so well, this could be the team for that Challengers Elite coming up this weekend, the Challengers Elite qualifiers of course, which are going to be exciting to keep your eyes on. So as sent us this a few days ago, Call of Duty needs an anti-cheat. I think pretty much everyone agrees with this one in the current state of the game. It's a very frustrating topic to keep having to raise, but it is certainly a massive issue, and it's nice that Activision are finally having some acknowledgement of the issue. Incredible what Vikkstar's been able to do, honestly. Like, just a couple of days ago, he says, look, I have an open line of communication directly with Activision regarding the issue. He quit Warzone, of course, one of the biggest Warzone creators, and Activision are probably looking at it thinking, damn, I'm not sure we can afford to lose too many of the names, such as Vikkstar. Incredibly, like BBC News did an article, 34,000 likes on it now as we look at it. His tweet has 37,000 likes, and just the very next day from that article going live and BBC like blasting Activision on World News, Call of Duty say the following: we have zero tolerance for cheaters across Call of Duty and Warzone. So 60,000 plus accounts were banned just yesterday. Follow Raven Software for more hashtag Warzone updates. But it's not just Warzone which is an issue, of course, and it's not just Warzone which they are trying to address. So clearly Warzone is a major issue. 60,000 accounts might sound like a lot, but in reality, if a lot of those players could just make a new account and just go again, it doesn't really matter so much. I think it's something like 300,000 they have got rid of, as we can see right here. So this is the article right here on their website. We have zero tolerance for cheaters. Our focus is to combat both cheaters and cheat providers. We're also continuing our efforts to identify and address cheat providers at the source and all of this type of stuff. We are committed to delivering a fair and fun experience for the players. So at the very least, they have said something, right? I think there was a lot of frustrations on the Hardpoints podcast, especially very recently. The fact that Activision weren't even giving any acknowledgement of the issue, but it is finally here. These are, well, some of the actions that they are taking. This is more of the interesting part though. In addition, we are increasing our efforts and capabilities in these key areas. Enhancements to our internal anti-cheat software, which does imply that anti-cheat software already existed, which, well, is pretty interesting given it doesn't seem to be in the game. One thing which could be kind of interesting, we were talking about it on the Breaking Point podcast yesterday, linked down below, that what if they just added the anti-cheat into the game and didn't really tell anybody, right? And it gets to the point where people who are cheating just get, well, banned off the face of the earth without any knowledge that an anti-cheat is coming into the game to give them time to delete all of that stuff off their PC. That would be a kind of nice. I'm not sure if it would be possible to do so, right? The anti-cheat, I imagine, would have to be pretty invasive, like something like a Vanguard is for Valorant, of course. But, well, if it was possible, I think that would be kind of entertaining to see which of the Challengers players just get wiped off the face of the earth. They talked about additional detection technology, adding new resources dedicated to monitoring and enforcement, regular communication updates on progress, more two-way dialogue. This is incredible to see. Zero tolerance for cheat providers, consistent and timely bans. No, well, we know cheaters are consistently looking for vulnerabilities, etc., etc. At least some good words. What they actually do in terms of actions does remain to be seen, but there are no place for cheating. We are committed to this cause. We are listening and will not stop in our efforts. So, okay, fair enough. They've actually done something. Now, who knows how long anything like this would actually take to roll out. As Charlie Intel say, they'll provide at least monthly updates on anti-cheats, sometimes even weekly, so we certainly hope that's going to be the case. Yeah, it's only a matter of time, I imagine, till something happens in the game. Will the anti-cheat when it arrives work? Will it be too little too late to stop some of the cheating issues this season? But at least it might mean that we don't have to go back to PS5 and have all these discussions and issues once again. It's certainly going to affect the scene so far this season. Maybe by next season we get into a situation where, okay, anti-cheat actually is in the game properly, and the challenger scene, and maybe even the pro scene as well, there are some questions around that, isn't an absolute disaster. One of the interesting things I think really is this sentence, right? Enhancements to our internal internal anti-cheat software. So okay, it seems like an anti-cheat software already exists, clearly isn't doing too much. I mean, Deserter Intel tweeted this out, which I thought was pretty funny. Live look at Warzone's anti-cheat in action, just letting them all through, who even cares at the end of the day. But you know, maybe it'll improve over time, you would imagine it will. It's interesting, right, because I don't know all the technicals behind actually forming an anti-cheat and how difficult it is to create. I do know that the Vanguard one for Valorant, as we discussed, is pretty invasive, but you know, it was developed as the game released, right? Like Valorant came out, there was an anti-cheat initially with the game straight away, right? Because they were trying to make Valorant, and it still is, and it's been pretty successful, to be a top tier esport, right, and try and compete with CSGO. And if you're going to do that, you need to take things seriously, right? So it's somewhat of a shame that Call of Duty hasn't done so until now. Finally, they're taking action, right? But it does make me worry somewhat for Warzone, right? Especially because Warzone's been so massive these last several months, these last several years. It's been one of Call of Duty's biggest drivers for a long time now, since it came out, I believe, last March. But it's taken them almost a year to figure out some sort of anti-cheat, or at least talk about adding one into the game. And it's dying off pretty quick, to be honest. People are moving on to other things, pretty frustrated with these cheater situations. A lot of the tournaments, they're just not playing in them anymore. A lot of people are quitting Warzone, and this may have repercussions for Call of Duty more generally, right? Because there was a lot of people potentially coming over, and okay, let's say you watch TB stream, you watch Crowder stream, you might end up tuning in and listen to get to know these personalities that are around the professional scene, get involved in the CDL that way. If Warzone dies out because they can't add an anti-cheat too quickly and there's some other issues in the game, then that may affect the CDL on the whole. So yeah, it's kind of a shame it's taken this long. At least we have some sort of acknowledgement and confirmation from the league. Also, of course, it's going to affect league play. If you're playing league play on PC, you'll know back in the day in Black Ops 2, there used to be hackers all the time on the consoles and stuff. Nowadays, it's more difficult to do on console, but certainly on PC, league play hackers could be an issue once again. As Hitch says, I'm hearing rumours of Cold War league play being released without the ability to customize your guns with camos and blueprints. If that's true, what is going on? This is really strange to me. I don't know if exactly he's referring to the preset classes that we looked at for league play. I don't really understand why you wouldn't be able to customize those though. Like, if the classes are the same, surely you can just go into the classes that are preset and say, okay, I'm going to put my camo as that. But maybe Hitch has heard something else. I'd really be surprised if this is the case, right? That's the whole point. Like, I'm sure a lot of people grind it for diamond camo or dark matter or ultra or whatever it's called in this game just to show it off in league play. I'd be highly surprised if that wasn't the case, that you're able to customize your weapons even if they are the preset classes that the pros are using. But we'll have to see, I suppose, how things develop going forwards. Thought I'd finish off with a couple of very interesting things as well. So GG Breaking Point tweeted this out. Simp has an average KD, thought this was remarkable, 1.20 over his career, a 15 event streak of a 1KD ratio plus. I think Scump had a crazy one from when he started competing way back in Black Ops 1 all the way to like World War 2 or something. He had like a 50 odd event streak of I think a 1.0 plus KD. Nowadays you could say, okay, the league is more competitive. Scump had a couple of online events last season when he had below a 1, but yeah, Simp with a 1.2 over his career, lowest KD ratio ever of a 1.03. But this I thought was pretty crazy. So Simp, you may have seen, did like a 1v1 for $4,000 just a few days ago, and this guy King of Body just had me bad in a freefall. Guy was pinging 190 from the Middle East and still had me on my host. So this guy apparently, King of Body, haven't heard of this guy before, but from the Middle Eastern region. I'm not exactly sure what country this guy's from, but Simp gave him a lot of props. And interestingly, his organisation, Falcon, says, unfortunately, we are ready to announce that King of Body will leave the Falcons after this Champions League, NAFA's Champions League, to join the CDL League. We wish him all the best in his career. So I didn't really know what's going on here. Chrome's asking some questions. Would be really interesting and really cool to see something like this happen. I don't know where he would potentially join. Maybe they mean he's going to move to the US to go through the Challenger side or something like that, as Cruz did, for example, from New Zealand. Many questions about this, but pretty cool to see Simp give him so much props, this player, even though, playing in a difficult environment, of course, on that 190 ping as he was talking about for the Middle East. So definitely there's so much talent in so many different regions, and it's nice to see that being represented, hopefully, one day in the Call of Duty League, when it might actually become a global league. Also, as Simp says, just to finish off the video, super excited to finally share with you guys my first piece of merch, dropping very soon indeed. I think one of these actually says Simp merch, so yeah, you can be an official Simp merch stan if, you want to hop into one of these. I think it's kind of nice, all things considered. Limited time re-release, as everything is nowadays. So I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Will they effectively execute? Will everything go down the drain? Well, will Call of Duty Warzone especially die before they get a chance to do this? But at least there is some acknowledgement. I think we've been looking for it for quite a while now, and Activision and Call of Duty saying something, it is at least better than the situation we found ourselves in just a few days ago. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
I'm going lobby.
Prevent hostile forces from taking our zones.
What, flash went back right?
And a 2. Or tractor.
You see his top right wing or something? Oh, that's
Lamar plane dead. Top right wing dead.
Fucking serious?
Top right wing dead.
One shot, dude.
No, before I burn, that's another soul!